and welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. This is episode 206.
Woo! Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
By the time you listen to this, it will have been past my birthday. But we were recording on my birthday.
It's also past my birthday.
My birthday's coming up.
Woo!
In a couple months. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
God.
We are here.
So, what have you all been doing?
I wish I could say we've been doing more. I have not played Final Fantasy 16, but I've seen a lot of it. Seems pretty good, I will say, if you were interested.
You have a PS5, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty smooth. It's pretty good. Story seems pretty solid. I mean, it's a Final Fantasy title. It feels very Game of Thrones at first, and if you're familiar with Game of Thrones, there are certain tropes where you're just like, okay, guys. But it's not like, it's very much just kind of nods to it. I wouldn't say it necessarily keeps that way. So I think it's pretty good. Also, there's people having sex on it, so that's cool. Including a gay kiss. That's a thing. And also, from what I understand, the gay couple does not die. So that's cool. But yeah, no, it seems pretty good. I haven't actually tested the gameplay myself, unfortunately, but it seems pretty solid. Solid kind of Devil May Cry sort of thing. And I will say, like, the side quests are definitely just fetch quests, so it's very much about the story aspect, less of the actual, like, quest itself, which is why it's very reminiscent of Final Fantasy XIV. But I will say the one cool thing about it is I think this game finally did cinematic battles properly. Like, you know how some battles they try to be all cinematic and either it doesn't look that good or they take way too much. Yeah. They take like way too much control from you. Mm-hmm. I feel
15,
like
I feel 15.
Yeah. I feel like this one really got it right. There's like 3 different what they basically call like there's like a cinematic attack, cinematic dodge, and cinematic like something else, and they just there's like just a special like just a little click of one of your buttons that you do for it, but it's more meant to like indicate the next phase of the fight, which is nice. So it's almost more of like
sort of like a transition.
It's more of like a transition type of a thing, or like at a certain amount of time you're going to be able to get a chance to do this kind of attack. So it looks really good, and it seems to play pretty smoothly. It doesn't feel like really random or breaks the immersion, but it also doesn't like take it completely out of your hands. Like you don't get to enjoy anything. It is pretty cutscene heavy, so it's a little Final Fantasy movie-esque, but it looks fantastic.
Just like every other Final Fantasy game.
I know. This one, but it does look really, really good. Like
somebody was like, I think I saw this on Reddit or something. People complaining about Final Fantasy 16 cutscenes, like, and then people were like, "Is this your first Final Fantasy?" And then just like a screenshot of all the cutscenes on YouTube. And FF10 is like 9 hours. The game is like 8 hours. Like it's always been cutscene heavy.
Oh yeah, it always has, and this one's no different. The one thing I like about this one, the transition from gameplay to cutscene, it's the same engine. It's completely seamless. So that looks like I'm a little kind of over the whole hyping up the graphics, but this time I was like, okay, no, this time I like it. Because it's all the same engine, and so it all looks really good. So it's a very
beautiful cutscenes, and then just go to like blocky face.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's kind of amazing actually. So like as far as that improvement, A+. So yeah, I mean, I think I do think if you're interested, I'd probably give it a shot. Obviously it's nobody's perfect, but I'm pretty impressed with what I saw. And once I get over the fact that I've had to see it twice in front of me, maybe I'll play it. So that's what happens.
I'll probably eventually play it. I mean, I eventually want to get a PS5. So
yeah. I don't know when PC version's
it's a Final Fantasy
coming
title.
Out.
Like
and
it feels weird not to play a Final Fantasy title.
Yeah. And it's nice. The characters are all pretty solid. The only criticism I have of it, and really this just feels like they made everybody watch Game of Thrones a little too much. They're portrayal of like their female main characters, I think, is overall pretty decent. But they did kind of still make a whole idea of the only people in the army can be men, which is very bizarre. Because they have like female military people, like leaders, but the like just grunts, like military grunts, are just all male. It's very that's very weird. But otherwise, like the main female protagonist that's with you, she's great. She's got a really interesting story. And there's some enemy ones that are also pretty well done. Obviously, nothing's perfect, but like, compared to the Hangover the game that 15 was, I'll take it.
And they're really pushing the marketing for this too. Like they literally brought the director and the producer to Malaysia to market the game, and I'm like, we're a really small country.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's cool. It's whatever, I guess. Cool. But yeah. Oh, Tesla's opening up here. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Good thing because people are gonna have jobs, I guess. Bad thing because it's not like they're gonna pay tax.
Yeah, right? Probably not.
They don't pay taxes in bigger countries. Why would they pay taxes here?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately probably the reason
and it's
why.
Elon Musk.
God, I hate him. I hate him so much.
When apparently there's a problem with his Starlink satellites leaking too much radiation, and so it kind of baffles a lot of like radio telescopes have a lot of interference from that, I guess.
Oh my
that
gosh.
Sucks.
I'm just like wondering when will he challenge our prime minister to a match, MMA. Zuckerberg seems to be like kind of ripped right now. Actually, I saw a picture of him like shirtless. Fucking robot, motherfucker. Yeah. Of course he can be ripped. He's a fucking robot.
He's a lizard person.
Just changes his torso. Like,
There's like him, I swear to God, him and that one guy that we don't hear about anymore, but he was in the Trump administration. I forget. He was the guy that was like all in charge of like some of the worst shit that Trump was doing. Looks like a lizard person. I don't know how else to explain it. Was it Jared Kushner? I don't think it was Jared Kushner. But he also kind of looks like a lizard person. I don't know. The skin's not right, man. Something about that skin's not right. Oh, jeez.
So you played a new tabletop, you said? Earlier?
Yeah, so I was with some friends over the weekend, and they introduced us to a new tabletop game called Ironsworn Starforged. It's a GM-less game, meaning there's no game master that does it. It's basically a cooperative storytelling kind of a game. It works very, very differently from like D&D. So like in D&D,
is it more of a board game than a pen and paper tabletop?
No, it's not a board. It's still more of like a pen and paper tabletop, but it's almost more like cooperative storytelling, like pure like cooperative. Fiasco? I don't think I've done Fiasco, so I'm not sure. How it basically works is that you do create. There is a character like creation section, but it's pretty broad. There's like some general stats that you can have numbers in a set like array of numbers, and then you kind of get these asset cards, which basically kind of give you some abilities, but they're very, very vague. So for instance, I took what's called the leadership one, so I get to kind of do some extra things when I'm aiding up another character and stuff like that. Some people have literally things like weapons expert, and they're just very good at using various weapons. We're playing kind of a Voltron Sentai Magical Girls campaign. It's pretty ridiculous, and I love it.
So you can choose any theme? Is that what you're saying?
Any theme? Yeah, basically.
Theme?
Yeah, basically. Okay. The game does come with like its own lore, but we're not doing any of that. We're
just using the systems.
Yeah, we're just using the system. And so basically, like, you want to do a thing, and they had some, like, vague rules of, like, okay, if you want to, like, literally, like, okay, you want to enter combat, and it's as simple as, are you in control, or are you in a bad spot? And depending on how well you roll, it's one or the other, and that determines sort of what you can do. But then you just kind of describe like it's a TV show of what you do. You don't even really take damage unless everyone in like around the group agrees that that's what you should do. The most fun part of it is like you have to kind of do enough points to complete a mission. So basically everyone just keeps having to make up like, okay, well, then my character does this to try to help the mission. It's very creative based. And when you get to the end, you have to do a roll to see like if you successfully completed the mission. And if you didn't, you basically have to like make up a new mission to counteract that. So it was just so funny with the dice because we started as like, you know, our super like magical girl soldier selves, but then we didn't complete that mission very well, so we had to transform to our like robot selves, but we still didn't roll well for that one, so then we got to be all Voltron and all combined, and then we got it. It was kind of funny. So like it's just cooperative storytelling. It was super fun. You definitely do not want to do this with any murder hobos. They will not like it. It's not that kind of game. This is not a Warframe kind of game. This is pure just improv-y character building, TV show writing kind of thing. So super fun. Definitely recommend if you're into that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a Kickstarter game. I just looked it up.
It probably was.
I mean,
yeah.
It seems so many
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's really it's pretty fun.
When Kickstarter works, it works well.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
For this kind of things, right? Smaller
exactly.
projects.
I wish more Kickstarter things, because I feel like a common, I don't know if problem's too strong, but a common issue I have with a lot of Kickstarter things is once they kickstart and then they just never exist after that. So if I wasn't in on the Kickstarter, like I can't buy the game sometimes. It's like, man, I missed it.
Yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah,
that's frustrating. Yeah, this one I think luckily you can easily find online, or at least we were able to
They
get.
have a digital version. I'm sure you can buy that.
That's what a lot of those places do. Like if you want a physical copy, you have to get on the Kickstarter because it's expensive to do physical copy stuff, and so they really only make that be rewards. And more often, it's more of okay, the digital copy is here. We paid all our artists because that's really what it's for at that point for the Kickstarter, and just go ahead and download. So, yeah. But no, I get that too.
Side note, I guess. Sarah, you might be interested in this game. It's a new Spike Chunsoft game.
Oh.
Master Detective Archives Raincoat. I've been hearing a lot of good reviews about it. It's like a adventure detective game by Spike.
Okay.
Chunsoft, yeah.
Okay.
Nintendo Switch only.
Okay.
Full price $60 game.
Okay. I also look at I think I must have missed that one. I definitely forgot to get the AI Investigators 2, although I heard good things about it. That one's by it's not Spike Chunsoft, but I think it is, but it's that writer for 999 and Danganronpa that they made that game together. And the first one was really solid, but I just kind of forgot to get the second game. So
co-developed by Spike Chunsoft and 2Kyo Games, which is a company formed by ex-employees of Spike Chunsoft.
Yes.
So it's basically a Spike Chunsoft game.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It looks really interesting, like a 3D, like third-person, move-around type of...
Oh, cool.
It's not just purely visual novel.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out. Their writing for mysteries is still probably my favorite. Maybe if it's not with that one guy, there'll be a little less weird sexual stuff. That's the only thing that's hard about his writing. I used to be fine with it when I was younger, but now I'm a little, like, jaded, I guess. So I'm just like, can we stop making jokes about porno mags, please? But I'll have to look into it. What's it called? Can you type it?
Yeah. Master Detective
I love the, like...
Archives Raincoat.
God, they have the most nonsensical names ever, can I just say. They don't know how to make a fucking title.
Is them or Square Enix? I think the top two. Japanese. This is Japanese. Like it's just a Japanese thing. I kind of like it a little bit.
Did I ever tell you guys? You know how like all the anime these days have the super long names? Like that time I was a slime at level 300 or whatever.
It's literally a sentence describing the anime.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you why those titles exist?
I don't think so.
Okay, there's actually a reason why those titles exist. So a lot of recent anime that are like that have actually come from light novels. And a lot of those light novels came from, it's not AO3, but it's an AO3-like site.
Is light novels a novel, but with like some pictures or something like that?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's like super basic, almost like, sometimes, I don't read them, I've just heard about them. They sometimes almost look script-like with very light exposition. So it's
okay.
I kind of jokingly call it like a like not didn't try hard enough to be a book kind of thing. But like it's just kind of like a lot of just almost dialogue and kind of light exposition with some pictures basically. And I don't remember the name of it, but there's a Japanese site that a lot of these first got published in. And do any of you know what like Archive of Our Own? It's a fan fiction website. Do you know about it at all?
I've heard of it.
Okay. Have you seen any like screenshots where it seems to have like a million tags? Okay. So how the Archive of Our Own works is there's a tagging system. And so tropes end up becoming tags. So like things like romance or even like yuri, yaoi. Sometimes gets really specific, like BDSM. Like it can get really specific, but it works in those tag systems. That's how you can search for them. Well, this this Japanese site does not have that system. There's no tagging system. So like if you're looking for a story with certain tropes like isekai or romance or yuri yaoi, that kind of a thing, there's no method of tagging with it. So they had to make these very descriptive titles to be able to be searchable, essentially, for people to be able to find these stories. So yeah, that's why they have ridiculous titles. Fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, anime be weird, yo.
When you talked about the Iron Sworn, the tabletop game, and you were saying you guys were playing like Super Sentai Voltron thing.
Yeah.
It made me think about this anime that I just saw. I saw a trailer clip type of thing. I think it's new. It's very new. I'm not sure if it's out yet. Pretty sure it's a manga already. It's called Evil Power Ranger. No. Go Loser Ranger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, so the story about that one is the Japanese name is Sentai Dashikaku, but Go Loser Ranger is like I think the proper like English localization or whatever. But basically there was a Super Sentai team that defeated an evil alien race that tried to like conquer Earth. So the evil alien race lost. So they killed I think all like the top generals and shit. So a lot of the grunts, they pretty much kept them as slaves to be part of like TV shows for the Super Sentai team to constantly beat up every week or every day. So one of them got so sick and tired of doing this that he then infiltrated the Go Loser Ranger team as like a potential ranger or something with the help of an actual ranger to like stop this whole thing. It's such an interesting premise.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of like I love when they take established like tropes and stuff
and just,
they just like
throw it on their heads. Oh
yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun. Oh,
this one sounds really interesting. Yeah, Go Loser Ranger.
Oh my god.
Fo, what did you do?
I also watched an anime called Thermae Romae Novae. And it's about this ancient Roman guy who's a bathhouse architect. And so every episode, he is like in a bathhouse or trying to design a bathhouse or something. And he falls into hot water and like he sinks. And when he comes back up, he's in a modern Japanese something or other. Like the first episode, it's a bathhouse. Second episode, it's hot springs. Third episode, it's like some guy's like bathtub. He's like, whoa, like what's going on? Like this like modern stuff is so cool. And so he brings it back to like ancient Roman. Like so he's the most popular bathhouse designer ever. It's kind of educational, and every episode ends with like a 5-minute like thing where the actual manga artist is like visiting a Japanese bathhouse and she talks about it a little bit. Like, here's how they cool the water with the wooden paddles or whatever. Like, it's really cute.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to a live action Japanese thing I've been watching called Sweet Tooth Salaryman, where this guy quits his programming job to become a businessman who like goes out on like market calls. So that way he can visit sweet shops during the weekday. And so like every episode he visits an actual like real Tokyo like sweet shop, and he just like has like a food orgasm. Like, oh, the shaved ice is so good. Like he really breaks it down like why it's so good, all the ingredients. Again, it's kind of educational. So it's really funny.
You're watching a live action Japanese drama, basically, comedy drama.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Haven't watched one of those in a long time.
It makes me very hungry. I can't watch it too late. That looks so good.
It's starting to eat. Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like an anime storyline almost.
It absolutely is. Like it's like, what was that? Because I did watch the pilot for like a food wars or something like that.
Oh,
where it's
Food
also
Wars.
like people would take a bite and they like orgasm.
Oh,
basically.
yeah.
It has some overlap with that.
Yeah, I watched a bit of that show.
I couldn't get past the first episode. Like this is okay.
It does get better.
Okay.
It does get better. Like that first episode is just like was a lot. It does get more interesting. I think honestly the hard part about it is that after a while, there's a lot of characters to keep up with, and the sort of like it just kind of felt like for like a tournament based kind of a show. Like once they got to the like big tournament stuff, it just kind of got a little less interesting in my perspective. And because it just kind of got weird. That's all I can really say. But I never finished it, so I don't know how it goes.
The other two things I watched that are noteworthy were Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Okay.
which I think it was fine. I had a hard time enjoying it because of how like constant the themes of like animal abuse were in it. Like it's kind of just like the plot.
Okay.
And it's just like, it's maybe hard for me to enjoy it.
That's fair. Yeah, I still need to watch that one because I heard for like a recent Marvel movie, it's one of the better ones. But I did hear warnings of like the animal abuse themes are like really strong. So I'll have to be careful too because that's hard for me as well.
It was pretty good. I'd say it's like average to slightly above average for all the Marvel films, which means it's better than the most recent ones probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most recent one was what?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
It's a lot better than Ant-Man.
Okay.
Yeah. God.
I mean, it wasn't as
that's what
good
I've
as
heard.
Spider-Verse, which doesn't really count, I guess, but
Yeah.
Spider-Verse was great.
You mean like animated Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So good.
Although I guess it also probably wasn't as good as the
Live
third
action?
Spider-Man,
Oh.
the live action, most recent one.
Far From Home the latest one?
I thought it was No Way Home.
No Way Home? Sure.
No Way
I don't
Home.
remember.
I have
I
no
can't keep
idea.
track.
I
I'm
know.
also, I can't even keep, because like, I conflate it with like Doctor Strange 2 a little bit. 'Cause-
Yeah, I do too sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, Doctor Strange 2 I had some mixed feelings about, but I liked No Way Home. I mean, No Way Home, I'm not sure if I will like have as much fun watching it a second time, but it was fun to watch in theaters.
No Way Home is the tree of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. That's the most recent one anyway.
Yep. Mhm.
And that one
I can't
is
remember
better
any
than
of their
Guardians.
like subtitle, like the
Yeah,
They all
so
have
it's
home in them.
it's
I know that.
Homecoming because it's set home and they have the homecoming dance.
High school homecoming dance.
Yeah,
Okay.
Far From Home, which is when they're traveling, they're abroad, and then
That's
No
a
Way
Mysterio
Home.
one.
Yeah, and then
I
No
see.
Way Home. Yeah, I got you.
This is not really a spoiler, but in Homecoming, what's his name? Childish Gambino is there as like a weapons dealer, right? Or
Yes.
the back of his truck.
Yes,
What's the actor's name? I can't.
Donald
Glover.
Glover.
What?
Yeah, I confused him with there's Donald Glover and there's Donnie Glover, right? He's okay.
Danny-
He's
Yeah, you're
Donald
right,
Glover.
there is.
Danny Glover is the
Danny
Predator
Glover,
guy.
I'm thinking of. Right. Okay. So
Sorry.
Donald Glover is who we're talking about. He also has a very brief cameo in the new Spider-Verse, and he is wearing the Prowler outfit. And so I'm curious if he's literally the same person or not. Like, is in Homecoming, is he the uncle who is
I think
like
he was, yeah.
the Prowler? Okay.
So here's what's interesting
Or
is
maybe not.
I believe this is interesting to me because I believe part of the reason he was in Homecoming is I think he was actually I don't know if he was supposed to be Miles Morales, but he was supposed to. There was a talk of him being a Spider-Man at one point that did not
Okay.
come into fruition. That's what I heard. So I'm wondering if that's why then he also appeared in Spider-Verse.
Glover
But I could
first
be wrong.
appeared as a shady guy named Aaron in 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming. Aaron is Miles Morales' uncle.
Okay.
That's
Got
his
it.
name. Yeah.
That's
So,
what that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe they named him Aaron just because like maybe if they do the Prowler thing, that he can become Prowler, or he's just like some random shady guy named Aaron.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Aarons out there.
There's a lot of Aarons out there.
A lot of shady Aarons,
Yeah. And then the second thing I watched, which I actually just finished like 30 minutes ago, was Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, which didn't have enough beasts. I think it was fine. It was an okay movie, but I really wanted more beasts than they gave me.
Was this
It's
like
called
supposed
Rise
to
of
be
the
the
Beasts,
Beast?
not more beasts.
Is it supposed to be like the Beast Wars one that everyone was
Yeah.
freaking out about? Okay, yeah.
I don't really
Not
know
enough
Beast
beasts.
Wars. I just know
basically,
Transformers who are animals.
I heard it was really
Basically,
good.
don't. Oh wait, did you watch it, Sarah?
No, I just know people who did and love it.
Basically, it has nothing to do with any of the old cartoons. Don't tie it together.
Okay.
It's completely
Yeah,
separate.
it's a standalone show from what I
Yeah.
understand
more or less,
completely. Yeah.
What I understand is like the beasts Transformers like have been on Earth for a while or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's all
But
I
of
know.
course,
But you-
I don't in the
you barely see
movie.
them.
Yeah, in the movies, like because the whole point of Transformers is robots in disguise.
Right. But
When
they're
you look
they're not in
No.
disguise as animals.
Yeah, they look like metallic, and the
They look
gorilla is
like
like
robot-
really big. So
And they're huge, right?
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
they're like a story tall still. Yeah, it did. I do think I have a new favorite Transformer, though. I mean, I'm being racist, but I mean Decepticons. Decepticons and Transformers are the same race to me. I don't know if they're different. I really like Battletrap. I think Battletrap's cool.
Honestly, his toy looks really cool.
I'm a sucker for a thing with a wrecking ball, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you got a wrecking ball, I'm kind of just on board.
The figure, like the Studio Series figure, is really nice. It's
I'll
really
look it
really
up.
nice. Yeah, it's like
Uh,
he's a Voyager, I think. So yeah, I think he's like $40 maybe. But look it up.
It's
I'm not super
too
sure.
bad.
I'm not super sure.
I did just get my Ram Man action figure. Studio Voyager, you said? Studio Voyager.
Studio Series. Studio Series
Studio
Battletrap.
Series.
Studio Series is like their movie stuff. That's what they do.
Got it.
Yeah. He looks really nice because he has like that in robot form and also like vehicle form. He looks sort of like a Mad Max vehicle, kind of. Like
The
he has
vehicle,
like
yeah, that's the key to a cool Transformer, is they have to look cool in both forms.
Yeah, exactly.
like when it comes to the movie ones, I never like their faces. Their faces feel too like there's too much stuff on the face. I never like their faces, but
It's something to do like the upper lip area is always kind of weird. Like yeah, I agree. I don't love any.
But
of their
even,
faces.
like,
that's why
it's
Prime
not
looks
just
the best
the-
when he has the armor over his
yeah,
face.
it's not just the lips. I feel like even Prime or any character with like the
Their
battle
eyes.
mask, there's a lot of lines on it. Like it's very like
Sure.
very textured.
More detail.
So yeah, I think it's about
the
$30
bad
something.
guy's pretty cool too. I don't know. It's a decent movie. I'd say it's better than the average Transformers movie.
It's definitely. I'm sure it's better than any of the Michael Bay ones. I think Michael Bay ones. Most people only like the first one and maybe the second one.
I was gonna say I don't know if it's better than the first one. It's been so long since I watched it. I think the action in this one was a little anemic. Like I don't know. It's just like we've seen better Transformers fights for the most part.
I will say
But-
though, like the biggest thing about the non-Michael Bay ones is the designs of the robots look recognizable to a longtime fan, I guess. Like they're obviously different, but also you're like, oh, that's you sort of know who that is.
Yeah, I need to watch Bumblebee still. I haven't seen the standalone Bumblebee one. Also, this one takes place in 1994, and so they don't really explain. I don't know if they're making a sequel, but like they don't really explain why. Because the only Transformers in this one who we know from previous movies are Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. Everyone else is a new Transformer or an animal Transformer, and they don't explain why those characters aren't in the older Transformers, which take place afterwards.
So basically, Bumblebee is a reboot, and this is the sequel to the Bumblebee one.
Oh,
More-
so that stuff just never happened.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Interesting.
more or less.
Oh, also, so are you okay with me spoiling like the after the credits like little stinger kind of thing that they do in this movie?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna
Doesn't
watch
bother
it
me.
soon, maybe today or
It
tomorrow.
doesn't spoil the movie.
whatever.
It's just like, oh, they're going to do that. There's a crossover with G.I. Joe. Is what they kind of set up,
Okay, that's cool.
which is kind of cool.
Did they show like The Rock or something?
basically, the main human character gets approached by maybe an actor I should recognize from G.I. Joe. I don't know, but he flashes like a G.I. Joe badge and like tries to recruit him, like Nick Fury style, kind of.
Okay. Not bad.
So
because G.I. Joe and
cool.
Transformers have always done a lot of crossovers in the comics and stuff.
Yes.
And I've been thinking about like having a crossover shelf for G.I. Joe and Transformers too.
That would be cool.
Okay, that's cool. That's probably a good way because G.I. Joe movies have stunk really badly.
I've never seen them.
I don't think I've ever seen
neither.
a single one.
Yeah.
When was the last one they did?
The last one they did was the
2005.
what's the ninja guy?
I don't know. Yeah,
I literally have his toy right here.
Snake
Eyes.
Eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But Snake Eyes was played by that guy. That guy that looks kind of Asian. What's his name? That's really good.
I can't make a guess
that really
without being racist.
narrowed it
you
down
can't
for
set
us.
me up like that.
I know we're white,
kinda
but give
does
us a
narrow it
little
down.
credit.
I think you can name like on one hand really popular Asian actors, right? I think I narrowed it down. I think I did.
Let's see.
If it was a
Henry
white guy,
Golding.
now that's a different story. Yes. What you said? Golding, something Golding.
Henry Golding.
Yep,
I just
yep.
searched up IMDb. I've never seen this person before in my life.
He was in. Did y'all
Crazy
watch
Rich
that
Asians,
new?
Gentlemen. Oh, I've seen that movie with him then.
He was in that new one with Matthew McConaughey.
Star Wars Visions. Is it The Gentleman?
Yes.
Yes. I've not seen The Gentleman.
Oh, it's so good.
That's a lot of gentlemen.
It's
Matthew
so good.
McConaughey, Colin Farrell, Hugh Grant.
Definitely watch it. If you like Guy Ritchie movies, which I do, it's really good. It's like English gangster movies type of thing. Love it.
Okay. I did just watch, less relevant to this podcast, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I did just watch Donnie Brasco for the first time. It's a gangster movie with young Johnny Depp being like inducted into gangsterhood by Scarface guy, Al Pacino.
Oh.
It's okay. It's funny, I'm so conditioned by modern movies, I'm like, this is going to be the twist, I know it for sure, and there's no twist. Like it's as you expect everything to be. It's like, oh, okay, well, good. Things don't need to have a twist. I just expect it all the time now.
Definitely watch it, gentlemen. Did y'all watch? There's this Viking one played by Charlie Hunnam. Who name? Well, anyway, he's a gentleman and he's really hot. So yeah, he's worth the watch.
Fair enough.
Just for that. Yeah.
Okay. I'll add it to my list.
And it's really funny in a Guy Ritchie kind of way. Very English humor.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to. I don't know if I've seen another Guy Ritchie film. I know the name. I just don't know if I've seen any of his work.
I know. It's weird because like I also know the name, but I don't even think I can name anything. Yeah.
Like Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels.
I've heard of it. That's the most famous one on this list I'm looking at. I'm like, that's a very famous movie.
He's made a lot of movies, and I like his style. Did you watch Snatch?
That rings a stronger bell. Or possibly, I don't think so though.
He also did the 2 Sherlock Holmes movies and The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh.
I did see Man from U.N.C.L.E., and I think I saw both Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
I don't know if those were good though. I mean, Uncle was good. Okay. Oh, again, maybe not relevant to this podcast, but I watched I don't think I watched it before last podcast. I watched Beau is Afraid. Did I bring that up? The Joaquin
familiar.
Phoenix movie from the director of Midsommar.
Oh. Okay.
It's like the movie Big Fish. Like, because Big Fish is very dreamlike, where like stuff's happening. You're like, this can't literally be what's happening, right? Because it's someone telling a story, so it's very fantastical and surreal. It's like Big Fish if Big Fish was a nightmare. Like, it is such a well-made movie, and it was so physically hard to watch because it's basically simulating a man having like an anxiety attack like the whole film. Like I want people to watch it so I can talk about it, but I don't think you should watch it. Like I'm like low-key scarred from it. Like it was intense.
Wait, what is it called?
Beau is Afraid. Beau.
Oh, it's new.
Yeah.
It's 2023.
It just came out. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I watched
It's so well made.
that random Sandra Bullock space movie in 3D and literally, yeah, and I had like an anxiety attack in my seat. Just, I think space is beautiful, but like
Sure.
just the vast like deadliness of it scares the shit out of me. So that whole movie,
It's like thalassophobia, kind of. The depth is just it's a lot.
It's so much, and just like they do a lot of close-ups with like just her heartbeat as she's trying to figure out what to do, and it's just like, oh. My blood pressure just skyrocketed that whole movie.
Sorry, slight tangent, but seeing Hugh Grant, I only watched the trailer for Wonka because I saw the screenshot that is Hugh Grant plays the Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
And that's why I watched the trailer. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing else good in this.
Yeah, I heard people were mad at... I don't know much about the actor.
Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about him.
He looks really good.
He does.
I just don't think he's being... I mean, who am I? I'm not the Wonka authority.
I know,
He just doesn't
right?
seem very Wonka-y to me. He's not creepy and scary like Depp was, but he's almost like too earnest. And he's not like crazy enough to be like the Gene Wilder.
Yeah, it's just weird. I've never really been a big fan of... I almost said Chunk. I meant Charlie in the Wonka Factory. Sorry, that was
Wonka Factory.
Wonka Factory. I like as a kid, I never really liked that movie. I found the violets, the blueberry scene really traumatizing because
upsetting stuff.
It's because she was the only character aside from Charlie that I didn't really understand as a kid why she was bad, because her like sin is not as obvious as a kid as everybody else's. So I didn't like see her as like a bad person, and her like getting bigger until she explodes like literally caused me to kind of fear that sort of like, not in real life fear it, but just the concept of it really grossed me out. And I just something about killing kids for very small kid-like things did not sit well with me.
Die.
I don't know. That one kid gets kind of
canonically,
suffocated.
they clearly should have experienced pain. I guess in the original one, it is less clear that they get better.
They never. I don't. Maybe you see them at the end. You do not see them.
I don't think
like,
you do, because you do in the Johnny Depp one, and I don't know if you see them at the end.
Yeah, no, I never watched the Johnny Depp one.
But honestly, seeing them at the end of the Johnny Depp one is kind of worse. Like, because they're alive, but they're not well. Like, Mike TV is all like stretched out. Like, he's like 8 feet tall and just moving in this weird like floppy way. Like that kid's. He should have just died. Like I would have preferred death. Like it's awful.
Yeah, I don't do well with body horror, and so that would have. Yeah, no, thank you. Just die. Yeah, no. Anyway, my point is I don't have a lot of like stake in this movie, but a lot of people do. Is it meant to be like a prequel or something? I didn't quite.
Yes.
Okay.
So like the plot is like. It's like him trying to open a chocolate shop in a town full of like rival chocolatiers who want to drive him out of business. So it's like this weird like capitalist like startup plot. I'm like, why would I care? Like I want to see him like exploring Africa and like discovering stuff, not just like fighting business people. I don't know. It's so
bizarre. I don't know. As a kid, I always thought he was kind of the bad guy, and that the whole point was that Charlie like took it over to like make it good. So like I have no like connection to this character. So, but I mean, people love it. You know, it's a very beloved story. So I gotta. But yeah, that's just that's interesting. But yeah, he looks great from the part. But it sounds like his
stuff.
His mannerisms.
The writing seems okay, but I don't know. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the trailer just didn't do a good job of painting it. But
oh, dude, trailers are so hit or miss.
I will not see it in theaters. I don't think.
Yeah, that's fair. Trailers are so hit or miss these days.
That's true.
I really if there's a movie that I'm like semi interested in, I just don't watch the trailers anymore, except maybe the first one. And honestly, even if I'm not like enjoying the movie, it's better that way.
Yeah. I only watched the trailer because I was so curious about Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa, and he's not in the trailer very much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it, man. I mean, yeah, I've been watching the Barbie trailers. I'm kind of low-key excited for that one. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters. But
I will probably see that one in theaters.
we just haven't been watching much movies in theater, so that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know if I'll see it, but I do want to watch it. Although, like, it's one of those things where, like, I worry that there's too much now expectation around it, and it's gonna suck.
Oh,
They've been, like, painting things pink in the real world, more and more things, and like, okay, guys, dial it back. You don't...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, my camera may be overheated.
Oh no!
Let's power cycle it.
Oh, it heated.
It happens sometimes.
Oh jeez. Uh-oh. Fun. But yeah,
It's gonna be zoomed out in an awkward way.
Woo, there we go. Yeah, that's the only thing, and like, I mean, all of the interviews with Ryan Gosling are just so funny to me, but still, like, I just don't know, so part of me might also just kind of wait to hear reviews, and then maybe I'll go see it. Because, you know, it's Barbie. I do love Margot Robbie, though. She's great.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else exciting I did. I don't think so.
I didn't watch anything, but just this morning in the mail, I did finally get my Playdate.
Ooh. Wait, you haven't gotten it? Oh, okay.
I just got it. I was wave 4.
What's that
It's like
button?
a little Game Boy with a crank. And so it has like all these Game & Watch games. Like, I've only played 2 games so far. One of them is a surfing game where you just turn the crank to like angle your surfboard, and so like you spin it to do like flips in the air and that kind of stuff. And then the other one is more like a RPG kind of game where you walk around and you take pictures of birds and you turn the crank to like focus on the birds.
And you don't buy the games, right? You get them for free?
Right. It ships with a bunch of games for free. I expect there is or will be, I haven't looked into it, like a storefront where you can buy more games later. I don't actually know how.
Because the device has Wi-Fi, right?
Yes.
Nice. How much is it again? Like $50?
I mean, I bought it so long ago. I only just got it.
It took forever.
I was wave 4. It's like $200, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe it was cheaper when I backed it.
It was on Kickstarter?
Yeah, $200.
I forgot. It's been a while.
It was on some crowdfunding thing. Let me look at my email and see if it tells me. Playdate.
Yes, you're looking for that. I got a few pre-orders come in, but out of all the pre-orders that came in, my favorite thing is like technically the cheapest thing, which is I have Chun-Li.
Nice.
Jedi Street Fighter Chun-Li.
Thighs of Steel.
I opened her yesterday, and oh my god, the articulation is amazing. It's so good. She can do all the poses, all her moves. It's insane. The value, I think, I can't remember what's the retail price in USD, but I believe it's like $24. Comes with hands, a stand for the effects. Oh shit, so good. Really cool box that looks like an arcade machine. The value is like, yeah, it's insane.
Nice.
Nothing close to Hasbro. I've been playing so the past few months, the whole year, I guess, I've been like pretty not really enjoying games as much as I used to. Like I had a couple of new games like Marvel's Midnight Suns and stuff. I was playing it, I was enjoying it, but I wasn't like, really into it. And then I got Shin Megami Tensei 5. And then now I've been playing that every day pretty much.
I see.
Loving it. The game is like what, 2 years old now? And
yeah, I think so.
I was like, yeah, it's time. So it's actually my first Shin Megami game. And
yeah.
I mean, it's more or less similar-ish. It's just like there's no like talking relationship stuff, which I really love from the Persona games. But I really like this one. It's like you're every time there's like a mission or whatever, you're sent to a new area, and the areas are huge. It's really big, and it's like 3D third-person platforming action stuff for you to like explore. A lot of like little like corners and stuff for you to like find stuff. So it's pretty good, like the exploration stuff. The mini map can be a bit confusing at times because there's like verticality to the levels, and sometimes you're not sure where you can climb and stuff. But it's okay. The combat is can be pretty unforgiving if you're very unlucky, even at like high levels. But yeah, it's basically turn-based done right. There's strategy, there's you can actually die, and it's not just like grinding levels and stuff. I mean, technically you can, but that takes a lot of time, so and combining the demons to make new demons, that's always fun. That's always fun.
Do you just have one character that you play through? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It's
so
not
you
like
have the one character and your party is the demons.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So your character can also fight. Your character is pretty strong. Your character is as strong as a demon, basically. And the other demons, you can specialize in different things. Party of 4, but the stock that you can have, that you can switch out at any time, I'm up to 16 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You can keep upgrading it. So to upgrade those kind of things, you have to fight this certain thing, which then unlocks more of the map, and then you can then upgrade certain stuff. So it's just great. I love it. It's basically, I guess it's Persona without all the relationship stuff.
It's very similar, yeah. I mean, they came from the same root and then diverted. So
yeah. So yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5, so good, and that's pretty much that's all I've been playing. Transformers Rise.
Another thing I forgot to talk about. I went to an amusement park called California's Great America, and they have a 4D Mass Effect ride, and I went on it, and it's kind of bad, but it's pretty fun.
Damn it.
It's because it's 4D, so the seats move, which is fun, but then bugs hiss at you, and they shoot foul-smelling liquid in your face. And, I could tell where they were, so I had my arms over the nozzles, so it only got my palms. But my people who were with me were like, "That was not pleasant." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know why 4D rides have to do that." The seat kind of hits your butt a little bit sometimes in a weird, not painful way, not like Disneyland. But the part that made it actually good is there's a human actor in the front of the theater with a control panel who's piloting the ship, and so she was doing so much work to be whoa, it's oh my god, dang, it went black. Yeah, but just throwing herself around, and so that was pretty fun. So it's a fun experience, but it's not a good ride per se. We didn't want to.
So was the person in front Commander Shepard or something?
They were not. They did reference Rex shows up and Garrus shows up.
On screen?
If you're lucky, yes.
Okay.
On the screen. So they do reference them. So the Normandy shows up, but there's no Commander Shepard. And I think they referred to Commander Shepard as a he, which I'm that's
not
gender
canon.
Neutral. It's not canon.
At least just do they. Come on.
Yeah.
But I thought the canon one is the female version, right?
There is no established canon. There were rumors that there was going to be a movie that would have starred a female Shepard, but those were never really substantiated.
That's kind of random having a Mass Effect, right? Were there other BioWare or EA rights over there?
No, I don't know what the licensing on that's like or why it's that way. The only other IP in the park is Charlie Brown, Peanuts.
That's so random. I love it. All right, we should probably get to some news before we gotta wrap up.
Yeah.
Genshin Impact voice actors claims they're not getting paid.
Yeah. Honestly, no offense, but in other news, water is wet, from what I understand.
So, the developers, Hoyo, whatever, they actually made a statement saying that they actually did pay. They paid the agency, or the recording studio. So if the actors are not getting paid, it's the recording studio's fault. So
I think I did hear that. I think I heard a voice actor say basically it was unlikely to be them. It was more likely to be that sort of a situation, which is just freaking awful all around. I don't know how all that really works with recording studios, but But the problem, all I know is that Genshin Impact does not take union actors, and so there's a lot of shitty things happening as a result. I know that from speaking to a voice actor who said she would never work on it because of that, so that's the reason I know. But yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. I couldn't really find anything else. I mean, I'm sure there's like other news, but like...
I have one very minor news story. It's just kind of funny. So there's a privately run World of Warcraft server that's hardcore mode, meaning like if your character dies, permadeath, like one life kind of thing. Which is a little weird because the game has like priests who can resurrect you. I don't know why they have this system.
Okay.
But the scandal is like the main, like the biggest like guild on the server is doing a raid and a bunch of them died during it. They're like, like the owners, this is privately run, so they're like, if you submit an appeal, we'll consider like resurrecting you. So like, of course they did, because like it was like it's their guild. So like, if they're like, why are you guys even on a hardcore server if you don't want to like die? Like, what's this charade?
Oh gosh, that's ridiculous.
Very ridiculous.
Do we get to end on gay furry people?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. We get to end on a good note, guys. More trailers and looks were released for Baldur's Gate 3, and famously, they showed off a scene where, I don't know the full context of it, but it is an NPC. It's supposed to be a romance scene with an NPC and your character, and they show it's two male characters, and the NPC is a druid, and you can ask for the option of him to turn into a bear. And it just cuts to black as the bear approaches you, which is, honestly, I'm so happy, because what that tells me is that if they included that scene in the game, there's going to be so much more like unhinged content, and I cannot wait. Or at least this idea of like there is something for everybody here. Like, that can't be the only weird thing in the game, right? There's got to be just more ridiculousness. I've unfortunately never had the pleasure to play a Baldur's Gate game. I probably should. I don't know if it's 2 or 1 that I like have to play. I think it's 2.
Stay both.
Yeah, someday. But I am like,
I'm
I am
pretty
actually.
sure it's also on the Switch. Like, you can play it that way. If you want.
Oh, are they? Okay, that's good to know. I'll have to check which one.
Pretty often. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But I kind of do when I want to get 3, especially because I think I haven't bought the alpha for it on Steam, but I probably will eventually. I hear that there's, they're always releasing new content for it, even if you have to start it over again whenever they do. But might be doing that. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about this happening. So yeah, you can have some gay bear sex, consensual bear sex.
And also, like, because the developer of Baldur's Gate 3 is Larian Studios. They're the people who made the Divinity series. And Divinity Original Sin 2 is considered one of the best CRPGs, like, in recent memory / of all time. So
Yes. I probably should play that
apparently
game
the
someday.
first one is also pretty good, but the second one is, like, top tier. Yeah.
Our, one of my game masters that I play with, he's been streaming Divinity 2, and he adores it. So, not surprised. But yeah, I'm excited because I've heard a lot about the kind of choices you can make in that game, and damn.
There's so many games. Holy shit. So many games.
Anyway, go hug a bear. Don't hug a real bear. Just a druid who can turn into a bear, please. With consent.
Yeah, honestly, not much of the news. Think we can wrap up?
Sure.
Okay, do the thing.
This is Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. I am mostly on Twitter till it goes down in flames. Have not figured out what I'm gonna do yet, because for
There's
some weird things,
Threads.
there's
Instagram.
Threads, yeah. Except I heard that if you're going to leave it, you have to delete your whole Instagram account. So now I'm like, what is going on? So I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna wait and see.
So they're putting your Instagram account on like hostage situation, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. It's very bizarre. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
What's the Meta VR? Like people who like got banned on that, like had like their Instagrams like shut down as well. Like if you get banned on one, you get banned on the whole Meta like ecosystem, basically.
Yikes! All right, Zuck.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
That is one of them.
It sucked.
I just know that they bought
down.
over the big one, Oculus.
Yeah.
Oculus, I think, is what they bought over.
Okay, yeah. Ugh, gross. But anyway, I'm still there. You can say hi and stuff like that.
And I'm Foehamner. I have a sketch coming out soon. It's about 3 minutes long. I, for once, didn't have to edit it, which means it's well edited, but it means I'm also waiting on receiving the edited video to put up. So...
is it one of your sports one?
It is not. Though episode 3 did just come up last week, not on my channel, on that show's channel. Yeah, this is separate. Yeah, that's it for me.
I'm Pupunoob, Pupunoob. I'm on Instagram, I guess. Not really doing anything, honestly. So yeah, this has been episode 206 of the playonultra podcast. Thank you very much for watching and listening. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.